Good morning. Hello. My name is Joe Kimberley, and I'm going to be talking today about the ADEPT Live Labs 2 Centre of Excellence for Decarbonising Roads. So to give a bit of context on the programme, going back to 2019, Live Labs 1 was a programme that was run by ADEPT and the Department for Transport. There was about £20 million worth of innovation funding for a range of highways innovation programmes, and there was a number of local authority and contractor partners bid for those. I work personally on the Kent Live Lab 1 with Carol Valentine, and the programme on the whole was deemed to be a success. And so ADEPT managed to secure another £30 million this time of innovation funding to fund Live Labs 2. This time, however, there was a specific focus on decarbonising local roads. So the intention was to park some of those sort of smart cities innovations and really focus on things that decarbonised and made the highway sector more sustainable. The mission statement is really about demonstrable scale. It's about how do you take decarbonising innovation opportunities, ideas, and grow them and be able to deliver them on a national scale. So this time round, there's 4 different themes and 7 Live Labs projects. The one that I'm going to be talking to you about today is the CEDA Live Lab, which is the UK Centre of Excellence for Decarbonising Roads. So what is CEDA? The Centre of Excellence is a materials testing and evaluation platform. Essentially, it's a centralised hub for research and innovation for decarbonised materials that can be used on local roads. We're attempting to develop a knowledge bank, testing in real-life conditions, and share insights and collectively learn from all of those. It's essentially led by 2 local authorities, the first being North Lanarkshire Council, and the second one I'm representing today is Transport for West Midlands. The 2 contractor partners are Amy and Colas. Now, my role in this is as project manager for the South Campus. And it's probably important to point out that this is one programme, but with 2 campuses, a North Campus and a South Campus. The North Campus is North Lanarkshire Council and Amy, and the South Campus being Transport for West Midlands and Colas. Now, even though we're 2 different campuses, we're essentially working as part of the same programme. We're going to be running the same types of materials testing demonstrators, and the only difference really is in geography and scope. So some of the more northern roads provide a more rugged test bed in terms of climatic challenges, and in the South Campus we're working with 7 local authorities that are part of the West Midlands Combined Authority. The other difference is in scope. So the South Campus is primarily focusing on asphaltic and carriageway type solutions and materials. So we're going to be looking at asphalts, surface treatments, resurfacing, patching and potholing solutions, whereas the North Campus wants to go a bit broader. So they want to focus on fence-to-fence innovations. If there's decarbonised gully materials or VRS, signs, steel, nothing's really off the table. So that difference in approach will give us different things. In the North Campus, we have breadth. We have the ability to pick up lots of different things. And hopefully in the South Campus, we're able to go deeper within a more limited range of materials that we're looking at. We've been given close to £8 million to run this 3-year programme. And under that core team of the four different parties, we're also working with the 7 local authorities within the West Midlands Combined Authority. And then we've got a range of more unique sort of consultancy type partners, ranging from the Future Highways Research Group, the University of Nottingham, Connected Places Catapult, Transport Research Laboratory, and we'll also be working with National Highways. So it's quite a broad programme, lots of different parties, but the skills and strengths of each of those parties will come in and hopefully make it quite an effective programme. So really, to start off with, it's probably best to start with a problem statement and why the need for a programme such as this. So the first problem that we're trying to overcome is siloed innovation. Innovation happens all the time in the UK, with lots of different authorities trialling materials and giving things a go. However, those trials often happen in isolation. They will happen by themselves. A local authority will try a material and say, yes, it was good. But good compared to what? Often it's compared against a baseline material, so what they were intending to deliver, perhaps a hot mix asphalt. It doesn't really show you how good different innovative materials are against each other. or how those materials would perform at different times of the year or in different geographies. And furthermore, some local authorities aren't very good about shouting about these innovations that they do. They run the trial, but they keep the knowledge and the lessons learned internal. They won't necessarily document or disseminate or put that intelligence out for other local authorities to benefit from. And the second problem that we're trying to solve is the difficulty that local authorities have with their strategy for meeting net zero targets. Depending on the level, there's a range of different years, but sometimes local authorities won't possess the means, the funding, or the knowledge of how to hit those net zero targets. They may well possess the drive and the intention, but what we want to do is provide them a means to hit those targets more quickly. So as a result, our programme will go out to the market, source as many different supplier innovations and innovative materials that we can that have that drive of decarbonisation. We will shortlist, say, 20 materials in the first year that we're able to trial. We have £4 million worth of demonstrator budget, and we'll be able to run demonstrator trials of the most promising innovative materials. Once we've carried out those trials, we will do wide-scale documentation, lots of photography, videography. We will carry out a range of core samples and other laboratory testing that sort of measures the performance of those materials. But we'll also carry out a fairly comprehensive carbon evaluation of each of those trials. Once we've collected all of that information, we will give that back out to the market. We will show that to other local authorities so that hopefully they will be able to see a best practice demonstrator trial, all of the information and media that they would need to see, so it's as close to them trialing it for themselves as possible. Once they've got access to this bank of information, performance testing and carbon evaluation, hopefully that will enable them to leapfrog over the trial period themselves and eradicate that need to go out and test all these different materials, cut through the noise of, well, there's lots of different materials out there, so how do we choose the best one? We will hopefully, for every different category or problem that a local authority might face, we will have carried out a demonstrator for each different problem statement. So the next question that we had to ask ourselves is, how can we give local authorities the confidence that they can trust us? And how can we give them the confidence to trust the demonstrators and the evaluation that's coming through our programme? So we thought that this needs to be independently evaluated and evaluated to a pretty comprehensive level. So we have an expert advisory panel, multiple different parties made up of local authority partners, industry organisations, and primarily an academic support. So we teamed up with the Universities of Nottingham, Aston and Heriot-Watt, and members of those different parties sit on the expert advisory panel. They're more of a steering committee that will help sort of drive us towards the right outcomes and the right goals. But then what sits below that is an expert research group. And these are sort of experts in their field, primarily from the University of Nottingham. So we're working with the NTEC group under Professor Gordon Airy. And we have research associates from those organisations that are going to be validating and carrying out the evaluation with us. So we will carry out the demonstrator on site with the local authority. We will carry out core samples and take the laboratory testing back to those experts, back to the professors and academic partners. And those academic partners sit right alongside the core group, so that everything that we do will be verified by them for validity and independence. So at the core of every demonstrator, we will be carrying out the carbon evaluation with the carbon analyzer tool from FHRG. We will then be double checking that against SEVI, which is an eco-comparator tool widely used in Europe, which gives us that sort of European perspective. And then finally, one-click LCA, which is more of a life cycle assessment tool. Once the demonstrators have been completed, we will be taking cores and measuring all of that performance data from the laboratory. That performance data feeds into a pavement design analysis, which gives you predictions about the longevity of a repair. And that longevity estimation will feed into the life cycle analysis, which basically says how many times do you need to come back and repair that road over a 60-year life cycle. So not just the embodied carbon or the carbon footprint of a repair, but what is the carbon footprint of repairing that road over a long lifetime? Some of the things that we will be looking at within that demonstrator evaluation will be the vehicles on site, the amount of fuel that's been used, any premises that were required, time and motion studies of how much utilisation of the plant and tools. And then finally, materials and EPDs, so environmental product declarations that are specified for the particular material. We'll be carrying out side-by-side baselining so that if we have a 100-metre stretch of resurfacing, we carry out 50 metres with a reference material and 50 metres with the innovative material to see how they perform side by side. And that will enable us to create a hypothetical baseline. So once all of this information has been collected, it will be then uploaded into a knowledge bank, which is essentially a big matrix online. And that can be viewed through our website, which is decarbonising.roads.co.uk. It's still under construction and we're finalising that this week. But we have a landing page, so you're more than welcome to check it out. Suppliers will have the opportunity to share their innovations with us, and many have done so over the last couple of months. But local authorities can get in touch and understand better how they can benefit from this programme themselves. But over the next few weeks, this website will be going live, and users from both sides of the sector will be able to come and see how they can collaborate with us and share best practice. So where have we got to at the moment? We are building the innovation hopper. We've had hundreds of submissions from the supply chain who are really keen to have their materials exhibited on this platform. Suppliers can benefit from this massively because it gives them a platform for local authorities to view their materials being demonstrated with high quality video and lots of performance testing to show how those materials hold up. And it will hopefully provide a mechanism for the supply chain to get their materials in front of local authorities. So this is where we are at the moment. We're building up this knowledge bank, this hopper of lots of different materials. And over the next month or two, we're going to be working with our colleagues at the University of Nottingham to down select through to the most promising materials that we want to take forward to demonstrator phase. So we're expecting to run our first demonstrators after the Christmas period. We think it's important to test which materials perform best in winter. And then we'll be coming back in the summer to retest those materials again to see how they perform in different climates. Once we've built up our innovation hopper, we will be evaluating all of those materials with an innovation scorecard. And the ease impacts graph on the right isn't real data, it's more just an indication of what it could look like. So I guess that's it for the overview. The challenge now is if you are a supplier, then please get in touch and submit some of your most innovative decarbonising materials, because we would love to pre-evaluate them and potentially take them forward to demonstrator. If you're a local authority, then I guess it's watch this space. Keep an eye on the website, plenty of blogs going up about how you can decarbonise. But once these demonstrator trials start getting landed and the evaluations are carried out, we should have a wealth of knowledge and information on which materials that you can use that would help you reach your net zero targets. And to some extent, hopefully reduce your need to run lots of different trials of different materials, and you can just learn from our experience. With that being said, I think that's it for this presentation. And if you have any comments or questions, then I'd be delighted to discuss. Thanks very much for listening.